Digivation Network.
Hello and welcome to Digivation Network, where we x-ray issues in business, ICT and innovation. My name is Adaze Okeaine, standing in for the regular anchor Bayero Agabi. To be part of this show, please follow us on our social media handles and click the subscribe button in the links below. The drive to ensure gender balance in ICT by raising awareness of the need for more inclusion of girls in STEM education continues to gain momentum. This week we have an interesting lineup for you with a special report on the International Girls in ICT Day 2021 and an exclusive on the Guest of the Week, which features Kashifu Inoa, the Director General of the National Information and Technology Development Agency, NITDA. In addition, we will bring you the top 5 tech trends of 2020. But let's start with the trending news.
Susu is fine. No, she's not crying, oh. But we are watching cartoon. Ask grandma, I'm the one that used to take care of Yabo that time. Take your time. I will call you back. Your daddy is calling.
Explore without limits. Turn it out on MTN, the reliable data network.
Hello, I am Bayero Agabi. Welcome you to this new ride. A digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is Digivation Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Nigeria's banking sector recorded a total volume of 3.46 billion transactions valued at 356.47 trillion naira on electronic payments channels in the fourth quarter of 2020. This was according to the National Bureau of Statistics in its latest report on selected banking sector data, Selectorial Breakdown of Credits, Payments and Staff Strength, released on Sunday, April 25th. The report noted that online transfers dominated the volume of transactions recorded. It explained that 2.23 billion volume of online transactions valued at 120.27 trillion naira were recorded in the fourth quarter of 2020. Facebook, in partnership with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and other key regulatory bodies within the health sector in Nigeria, has launched a social media drive allowing people to add frames and graphics to their profile on Facebook and Instagram, saying they have either taken the Covid-19 vaccine or plan to. The new range of Facebook frames and Instagram Giphy stickers allow people to share their support for getting vaccinated with their family and friends as access to Covid-19 vaccines expand across Nigeria. Facebook says it's launching the profile frames because research shows that social norms can have a major impact on people's attitude and behavior when it comes to their health.
Every year, individuals and organizations join forces to raise awareness on the significance of gender parity in the ICT ecosystem. Our special report this week focused on the celebration of the International Girls in ICT Day 2021. Over the years, the number of female science and technology students have been disproportionately low. Research from UNESCO reveals that over 7 million people work in the ICT sector, but only 30% are women. The journey by concerned stakeholders to close the gap is ongoing, and the need to engage the interest of young girls specifically at the early stages of education remains vital. The International Girls in ICT Day is a global campaign by the International Telecommunications Union (ITU), marked yearly to encourage young girls to take up STEM-based education early in life and consider ICT as a future career option. E-Business Live Communications Limited organized the 10th edition of the International Girls in ICT Day at the Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria, on Thursday, the 22nd of April, 2021. The theme of the event was Expand Horizons, Change Attitudes, Breaking Gender Norms in Career Choices. The convener, Fuma Emohedaro, had this to say.
For 10 years, it's been a very beautiful journey, I would say. It wasn't easy starting at the beginning. You know, at the beginning of a thing, it's usually very difficult. It was difficult for us to get sponsors. But by the time they saw what we were doing, they knew that, this is a good cause. And not just what we saw, the story behind it, seeing that students are actually beginning to change their minds because of something like this. They saw that, this is something that we should work with. And it's been an interesting journey. But the best part of it for me is that we're changing lives. I think that's what is the most interesting thing. Thus far for us as a business life, it's been very encouraging when we receive mails from students saying, it was a good thing I was that program. It made me see life differently. It made me change my mind. In fact, what this woman said at that program changed my thoughts.
Some guests and speakers encouraged girls everywhere to consider science courses in school and careers for the future.
Been absolutely fantastic being here today. I hope I've been able to show the girls the opportunities that exist and open their minds to the variety of roles that exist within IT. And I trust with what has been shared with them today, some of them will do further research and realize ICT is the right place.
I think very strongly there has to be intentional collaboration between the government, private sector, and also CSO, the civil society organizations, to have initiatives that are jointly executed with a good understanding of the target audience. I mean, there are peculiarities of dealing with girls in the first place. There are also other things that we are not looking at and we're not calling out. For example, the stereotypes, there are religious barriers, the cultural barriers at the same time as well. So girls have to battle with all of these things skills. So we need to reduce those barriers with very creative initiatives that I believe that government, CSO, and private sector can play.
The easy way out is to develop some policies that are really, really followed. What kind of policies? Education, for instance, we know the importance. We don't need to debate around it again. So what the government should do off the cuff is simply ensuring that girls in particular stay in school. Because that's the first challenge. If you can keep the girls in school, they will be able to decide either to go into the arts, commercial, or sciences. But in this case, because we are looking at ICT, I think the policy should also be ensuring that these girls that are staying in school are also properly encouraged to take up sciences or subjects in science, math, and ICT.
Students from selected secondary schools in Nigeria were at the event and spoke on their experience.
I could say the involvement of technology was one of the upsides the lockdown had. And this was prevalent owing to the fact that they need to access my schoolworks. Necessitated the installation of some applications. And this program has actually enlightened me on more about technology.
So today has been a very motivational and inspiring day to me. Personally, it has encouraged me to go into male-dominated areas like fields and actually thrive and make it big. We are all equal, and I believe that we should all get a leveled playing ground to thrive. And your gender does not determine who you are, does not define you. You are who you are. We are all equally made. Yes, I want to become a computer engineer. Firstly, I wanted to become a medical doctor, but although the perspectives now that have been approached to me, like thinking about the future. Actually, if you think about it, computers, technology, just slowly driving out humans from participating in human endeavors. Now you have computers doing robots, doing basic things now. So I think I would like to go for the IT sector.
As part of the event's lineup were a roundtable discussion, interactive and motivational talks from renowned women ICT professionals who emphasized the importance of female representation in STEM careers. As the world moves towards faster and superior advancement in technology, it is imperative more women are included in the tech ecosystem to improve gender balance. Welcome back. That was a special report on the International Girls in ICT Day 2021 event, which took place at the Oriental Hotel, Lagos, Nigeria. You're still watching Digivation Network. You can watch more news and reports on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Digivation Network.
This is AIT Infotech Network, reaching you from Freetown in Sierra Leone, Accra, the Ghanaian capital, Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Johannesburg in South Africa. We are in Cairo in Egypt, Tunis, the Tunisian capital, Cape Town in South Africa, reaching you from Dubai, Hanover in Germany, live from Chicago, Las Vegas in the United States of America, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We are in Beijing, China, in London, England. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Up next is the top 5 tech trends with Gideon Tobiloba.
Hello everyone, I welcome you to another edition of the Top 5s on Digivation Network. I'm your host, Gideon Tobiloba. Technology today is evolving at a very fast pace, and the world has changed a lot more due to the outbreak of COVID-19, making IT professionals realize that they will constantly be learning, unlearning, and relearning out of necessity, if not desire. Last year was no doubt a very challenging one for everyone on the planet, and this gave rise to different innovations, and some existing innovations enjoyed wider global patronage that cemented their relevance. So for today, let's have a look at the top 5 new technology trends of 2020. Standing on my number 5 is quantum computing. Quantum computing is a form of computing that takes advantage of quantum phenomena like superposition and quantum entanglement. Quantum computing markets are projected to surpass $2.5 billion by 2029. Going straight to number 4, which is virtual reality and augmented reality. VR immerses the user in an environment while AR enhances their environment. Although this technology trend has primarily been used for gaming thus far, it has also been used for training, as with virtual ship, a simulation software used to train US Navy, Army, and Coast Guard ships captains. The global AR and VR market is expected to grow to $209 billion by 2022. On my number 3 is blockchain. Although most people think of blockchain technology in relation to cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, blockchain offers security that is useful in many other ways. In the simplest of terms, blockchain can be described as data you can only add to, not take away from or change. As the use of blockchain technology increases, so too does the demand for skilled professionals. This is an innovation that has broken boundaries, and its future is certain to dominate. That takes us to number 2, and is the very controversial 5th generation network, popularly called 5G, that occupies that position in my list. And yes, this was launched in 2029, where 3G and 4G technologies have enabled us to browse the internet, use data-driven services, increased bandwidth for streaming on Spotify or YouTube, and so much more. 5G services are expected to revolutionize our lives by enabling services that rely on advanced technologies like AR and VR, alongside cloud-based gaming services like Google Stadia, Nvidia GeForce Now, and much more. 5G services are expected to launch worldwide this year, with more than 50 operators offering services in about 30 countries by the end of 2021, making it a new trending technology you must watch out for and also save a sporting. Okay, now, standing on my number one top 5 technology trend of 2020 is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity might not seem like an emerging technology, given that it has been around for a while, but it is evolving just as other technologies are. That's in part because threats are constantly new. The malevolent hackers who are trying to illegally access data are not going to give up anytime soon. As proof of the strong need for cybersecurity professionals, the number of cybersecurity jobs is growing 3 times faster than any other tech jobs. Also, the need for proper cybersecurity is so high that by the end of this year, $6 trillion would have been spent globally on cybersecurity. I'm sure these are not what you were expecting, but trust me, it's on these platforms other technologies that thrived during the pandemic leveraged on. So my advice is, if you're looking for a career that won't be threatened by future innovations, look in these areas. On this note, I put a curtain on the segment today. Until I come your way again next time, I remain Gideon Tobilaba.
Welcome back. Our guest this week tells us more about the mandate of the agency that is responsible for the regulation of information technology practices in Nigeria. Our guest of the week is Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, the Director General of the National Information and Technology Development Agency, NITDA.
The agency was established in 2001. I think I was in 100 level then, to regulate and develop the use of information technology in Nigeria. When NITDA was established, the use of ICT in Nigeria was about only 0.16% of the Nigerian population used ICT then, and also ICT contributed around the same figure, 0.16% to the Nigerian GDP. But today, the use of ICT, more than 100 million Nigerians are using internet, are using form of ICT, mobile phone, and so on, because you know our mobile phone also is a computer itself. And also the ICT today is contributing more than 14% to our GDP. So you can see there is tremendous improvements in that space, from 0.16% to almost 14% to GDP, as well as more than 50% of Nigerians today are using ICT. So the agency has played key role in this journey, because the agency was established to promote the use of ICT. I know at this time, NITDA was the one helping MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies with ICT infrastructure, with training and other things. I remember when I started my career, I also did my Cisco Academy here at NITDA. That was around 2008. So it impacted a lot of Nigerians in terms of capacity building, in terms of building infrastructure, in terms of policy and regulation. And also, many organizations or subsidiaries have come out from NITDA, like Galaxy Backbone was one of the NITDA childs, like NIRA, like ONC, like OIE, and also it helped many organizations to grow as well. So the agency is playing a critical role in creating the enabling environment, as well as building and creating the ecosystem. The agency is playing a critical role in the implementation of the National Digital Economy Policy for Digital Nigeria. If you could remember, the agency was established to implement national IT policy. Last year, the policy in 2019, not last year, in 2019, the IT policy was replaced by National Digital Economy Policy for Digital Nigeria. And this has helped us, or has encouraged us to recalibrate, to craft a new strategy, to reposition the agency so that it can lead in the implementation of this new policy. And I know you are aware of ICT played a key role in helping Nigerian economy to come out of recession. All this is as a result of these new policies government is implementing, what NIDA is doing, and other agencies under the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. Call our regulation as developmental regulation. That what we mean is we are not regulating to stifle innovation. Rather, we regulate to unlock opportunities. We regulate to create market. We regulate to encourage market creating innovation. We regulate to strengthen the ecosystem. Looking at the last information from the BMI research, from 2017 to 2019, that's the last report was published in early 2020. That means the 2020 is not ready yet. The Nigerian software market capitalization has grown by almost more than 100%, because in the 2017, the market capitalization was around 18 billion naira. Today, it is more than 32 billion naira, and it is expected to grow to 37 billion naira by next year. That means it will be more than 100% growth within 5 years. So all this was as a result of the kind of regulation we have in place, the regulatory instrument and policies. For example, we do a lot in terms of project IT clearance for MDAs. What we used that instrument was to make sure MDAs comply with the local content guideline, to make sure we only allow government to invest to import software where we don't have local capacity for that software. So this helped strengthen the ecosystem. In terms of hardware also, if you look at the data, within these 5 years, we sold, the OEMs, manufacturers sold more than 1.3 million devices. The sales has grown from about 82,000 in 2017 to almost 300,000 in 2019. And what happened during the COVID-19? COVID-19 accelerated that trend. Before the COVID, people were digitizing, people were migrating to digital platform. When COVID hit, it accelerated that pace, the pace people are migrating, transitioning to this digital space. That also increased the local consumption of especially software, because people are moving their work, their business online. And to do that, you need to build platform, you need to have applications, and you need to build it in a tailor-made that can fit your business. And to achieve that, you need to patronize the local content. And also the government is leading by example. The highest body of the government organ today is using virtual or digital technology for its activities, like FEC, like National Security Council, like National Economic Council. They all have their meeting virtually. So when you talk about developmental regulation, like I said earlier, we regulate to unlock opportunities. We regulate to create an ecosystem. We regulate to implement national digital economy. And to have a strong digital economy, you need to have 4 capabilities. Firstly, human capitals, because human capitals is the greatest resources you need to excel in a digital economy. So at NIDA, we do a lot in building the capacity of our citizens, from the professionals, the CEOs, the civil servants, and every Nigerian. We do capacity building for our for people with special needs, people with disability. We have for special one for women, we have for children, and almost every Nigerian benefit from one form or the others of our training. Some we do in person, we do virtual. Within a year from the time COVID hit in around March last year to date, we trained almost 100,000 Nigerians. We trained, we developed an online training virtual platform. We also engaged in massive in-person training. We helped our citizens with tools. We give them laptops, we give them mobile devices, and we sometimes even tokens for them to start their own business. And we also train artisans as well as farmers on how to use digital technology to improve their business. Then the second capacity you need to build to thrive in digital economy is infrastructure. We do a lot in this area also. We build IT innovation and incubation parks in all the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. And we also establish National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics.
With that segment, we wrap up the show for this week. You can reach us on www.youtube.com/Digivation Network and our social media handles on your screen. On behalf of our regular anchor of the show, Bayero Agabi, thank you for watching. My name is Adaze Okiaine. Till next week.